okay. Usually I let like conversations start and stuff and just like, shoot the shit for a bit. Or I try to, unless everyone's silent. But in this case, I think we have a conversation we need to have. They're
Yeah.
discussing what Batman's like servant title thing should be if he had one. I feel like this is a discussion we need to engage in.
If Batman was summoned as a servant, what class would it be?
Well, I mean, the class would be assassin, but like,
Assassin, right? And his
yeah,
title would be. I
hmm,
mean, he is the Dark Knight.
he is, but that's the obvious one. It's too obvious. I
Okay.
I like my own suggestion, Night of Dead Parents, but that's both also a little too obvious, and
oh,
I mean
oh.
it's mine, so of course I like it.
Um, let me look at something. There's obviously there's the classic, the Dark Knight, and that's a little bit too much. Let's think. There's been so many different Batmen
Yeah,
throughout time.
he probably does have quite a few epithets besides Batman.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look.
How about the Knight? Because he is the Knight, right?
The Knight with an N.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can bring up
Here we go. Batman epithets: the Dark
the
Knight,
Caped
Caped
Crusader.
Crusader, the cowled crime fighter, the world's greatest detective. Ah, we've got Holmes already. We can't have that. The Dark Avenger, the Dark Knight Detective, and Bats.
That last one is from The Flash.
And the Joker.
And the Joker. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Matches Malone.
Man of Bats is also good, but I feel like Man Bat has like claim on that one.
Bat of Men.
Hmm. Really dumb conversation, but I mean, it was right there. I couldn't not bring this up. Like, this is.
I mean, like he's also there's also the Bruce Wayne aspect. How do we account for that?
Hmm. Do we account for that? I mean, it's pretty well established that Batman is the real him and Bruce Wayne is the costume that he puts on.
Okay, but like first ascension is Bruce Wayne, and then he becomes more Batman as you ascend him.
Yeah, like not even first ascension, just base him as Bruce Wayne, and then he
Yeah,
becomes Batman, and then he becomes
base
like
him.
armored Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. He gets like the tech stuff, and he gets like the light up eyes and things like that. Yeah, that could be pretty cool. So, welcome to the Fandom Flux podcast.
Batman of Arkham Asylum Origin City.
Okay, hang
Arkham
on.
Knight.
Fandom Flux. Men of bats.
Every Batman character is like at least 6 foot. Fact.
Well, all of them. So, like, you know, Dick Grayson was
No,
at some
I
point.
was I was looking at Wooly versus doing the doing a let's play of Arkham Asylum, and you get all those different character sort of portfolios as you go through that game.
Yeah.
And it's like, this character is 6 feet tall. This character is 6 feet tall. This character is 6'2". This character is 5'11". Manlet.
Hmm. Well,
It's
that was the thing of the art style. Was like it favored tall, lanky people as villains more often than not.
And then I remember I did the same thing for like Fate characters, right? I was looking at their heights, and oh my gosh, there is nobody that is a normal person that is 6 feet tall at all.
Yeah. I mean, Ruby does that as well. Like, I think Glinda was 6'5" or something. Yeah, like all of the characters in Ruby are ridiculously tall, except for the ones that are explicitly not. Like it ranges from 4'9", I think, for Neo, who is the shortest, right the way up to 7 foot something.
Yeah, and I think it also is, kind of steeped in that whole like in the West, we are naturally people tend to be a lot taller, and so we make taller characters, and they're like the larger than life characters.
Yeah,
And over in the East, characters tend to be on the shorter side because people tend to be on a shorter side over there.
yeah, and they kind of
Just like
expect it.
a
So
trend.
yeah,
It's just kind of interesting to see that reflected in across various mediums.
yeah, because like even when Japanese franchises give Western heights, they tend to be more in the Japanese range rather than uh, European lineage expectations. Let's say.
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting thing. Casey has stuff to talk about this week because he had a week off last week. Yeah,
Oh yeah. What happened?
yeah, I did basically fuck all.
Oh yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, it was really good. I watched some stuff. I played some stuff. I didn't really play anything new, especially, but I did some stuff. So first thing I want to talk about is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Falcon as I
Yeah.
call it because I don't care about the other guy. But that's pretty good. It's not amazing. It feels like the villains
Uh,
aren't especially well developed.
have you seen the latest episode?
I've watched up to 3. Is there a 4th one out?
Yeah, four. Episode 4 is really, really good. It establishes it actually does establish the villains and
Oh
builds on
yeah.
a lot of things.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I don't actually know. They don't really say when the new episodes
Friday.
come out anywhere. So
Friday over on per my time. It's every Friday, so
Yeah.
Thursday at midnight, basically.
yeah, it doesn't actually
is
have a
technically Friday.
schedule anywhere. It's just hey, the new episode's out if you want to watch it when it comes out. So that's less than useful. I would have liked hey, every Friday this show. If they're gonna do
It,
like scheduled releases instead of letting you binge watch, then I would have
yeah,
preferred
it,
that.
it is. The thing with the Disney Plus stuff is like with the Mandalorian and with WandaVision, and with this, every time they have one of those big shows, it's always like episode on Friday.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so I watched that, and then I remembered that hey, you know what's also on Disney Plus? The Simpsons. So I watched like the first 6 episodes of The Simpsons.
Okay.
It was strange.
How so?
Um, you know how modern Simpsons is terrible?
Yeah.
Well, we can start with it's not. The first few episodes are not terrible, despite being so early before it was a massive success and everything. It was still quite good, even by modern standards. It surprised me how much heart, I'll say, was in it, because I mean, probably a lot of people that are listening to this have actually watched Super Eye Patch Wolf's breakdown of how The Simpsons worked in the early years.
Yeah, I saw that.
And there was one of the producers that was very keen on making sure the stories that they told had an aspect of like heart in them. Like, yeah, they told a fuck ton of jokes, great, but they also wanted a story that had a bit more meaning to it and was rooted in the characters themselves, being themselves, and coming to conclusions that they would conclude and just running with it. And one of the things that was key to Homer was that he is a complete idiot, he is lazy, he loves his family a lot. And that is no more true than in the first season, because it feels like even in the classic seasons that come after, like 2 through 8, 9, whatever you want to cut it off, even in those seasons, it's less prevalent than it is in the first season, where it's pretty constant that he is deep down, kind of a good dude, except for the lazy and stupid thing. So
he's a character of a American family man, but like he is a family man. He cares about his family. There is an inherent goodness there. It's just he is comically stupid.
yeah, like the very first episode, which was a Christmas special, which I thought was funny. Um, the entire episode hung on him not wanting to ruin Christmas because he didn't get a bonus from work, and Bart did something stupid and cost a lot of money, so they didn't have money saved up. So just him trying desperately to rescue Christmas so that his kids could enjoy great presents and have a good time in Christmas. And I feel like that's a story that they wouldn't do in later seasons, say like from 4 onwards. So that was kind of a nice, unexpected change from what I was expecting of that show, because I went into it thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna have a good time watching some really good comedy, and I was right. But it was also a good time because, nice feelings. Yeah. It's people doing good. Even though it's The Simpsons that is most famous for a father throttling his son. So, good to go back on that kind of thing now and again and remember it beyond just the memes, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And after watching about 6 episodes of that,
Yeah.
I remember I was like, yeah, this is really good. This is really good. Man, I kind of wish Futurama was on Disney Plus though. Where can you watch Futurama anyway? And I was like, okay, I'll Google
It's a binge coming.
Yeah, where can you watch Futurama? And I'm like, okay, it's on Amazon Video. Oh well, it's probably like Prime Video or something, so you have to pay extra so you can watch it. And I'm like, free, huh? As long as you got Prime, you can watch like all 8 seasons, huh? It's pretty nice and something I wish.
So
I
how are the 8
sooner.
seasons?
So I got up to what Amazon considers season 5. Which isn't actually season 5. It's like halfway through season 4 because they got the numbering wrong. But yeah, that's still a really good show. And I remember every episode that I've watched of it so far. And every single one is a classic. That is a really good show that holds up really well. Oh boy. So yeah, that's been good watching that I've been doing over the past couple weeks. Good stuff.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. I also watched a bunch of things.
Huh?
Like I mentioned, I was watching I was about to say Captain Falcon.
Yes,
I was
Captain Falcon.
I was watching Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I saw episode 4 just today, actually. And they are going directions with that story that I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil anything, but man, screw John Walker.
Yeah, it I haven't seen episode 4, but I like that they've put more effort in than making him just a corporate tool or a military version of a corporate tool.
He has a lot of nuance to his character.
Yeah, like he seems in the first couple of episodes, 3 is a bit shaky, but in the first couple of episodes to be a guy that's genuinely trying to do good and live up to the title that he's been given.
I think
first
about
couple of episodes.
I think about the original Captain America movie where the Doctor is like, I don't need a good soldier, I need a good man, right?
Hmm.
And that's why he chose Steve, because Steve was, before everything else, a very good man who knew what it was like to be weak.
Yep, there was the whole scene of the general pointing at the super good guy that scored so well in all the strength and yada yada
Yeah.
yada, and he follows orders and he's a good soldier. And then there's just the accident of someone throwing a grenade, and Steve just leaps on it. And the doctor's like, Dr. Erskine is just like, yeah, him, that guy.
John Walker is not Steve. He's the other guy that the general wanted.
Yeah.
And seeing him pushed against the same sort of stresses and stuff that Steve had to go through, and it's very interesting. Also, Zemo is amazing.
I wasn't a fan in episode 3. I'm not gonna lie.
I like that. There's just like he's very casually an evil asshole.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I like that they kind of keep upping it a little bit, because he is a supervillain, technically speaking. One of Captain America's classic villains is Baron Zemo, and he's been doing a good job of it.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a lot of knowledge on how Captain America does things. Surprisingly, he isn't exactly a bankable name in the UK. Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought? Episode 4 was definitely, I think, the best episode so far of the show, which is, it's just very good. Things happen in it. There's a lot of build up that is kind of cashed in. It's only like a 6-episode series, so we're getting close to the end. Also, I had a moment when I was talking to my friends. I was just like, wait, I've not been catching up on any of the anime that is coming out.
Yeah, anime is still a thing that exists. Don't watch Redo of Healer.
I should probably go do that. No,
Which?
not Redo of Healer,
Catch
but
up on
catch up.
anime or Redo of Healer.
Not Redo of Healer. I'm not doing Redo of Healer. But I did manage to find out that the second half of ReZero Season 2 came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it twice. Once by myself and once with a friend. Genuinely fantastic writing. And just very, very good. It's interesting. I was talking to my friend about this, but you start out that show like season 1 compared to season 2 is like season 2 is a massive improvement. You get backstories for a lot of the characters in the cast, a ton of characters. They all get fleshed out. Every character is fleshed out, and it's just genuinely fantastic. Like, there's not a single episode in that season that is boring or disappointing. And I don't know how they do it, but it's really impressive. Because Subaru has gone from kind of like the worst average otaku NEET into being genuinely a good guy who's able to form healthy relationships with people, and it's very satisfying to watch. I mean, obviously he still struggles and there's still, problems, but everything feels earned, and that's really important. So yeah, was that. I also saw a movie. I went to a movie theater for the first time in over a year.
Yeah.
Because my whole family is vaccinated. And they were, social distancing and stuff. So we thought it would be safe just to try it out. And we went and we saw a movie called Nobody. I don't know if you've heard of this.
I've seen the trailers for it, yes.
Okay, so the main character is, you know, the guy from Better Call Saul? You know, Saul himself? That actor?
I know what he's like. I don't know his name off the top of my head.
Well, that actor is playing the main character of this. And basically, he's living a quiet, normal life. And then some people break into his home and try to steal some stuff. He kind of gives them some money and has a chance to take one of them out with like a golf club, but decides against it, just lets them leave. And you know, his son's disappointed with him, and everybody else is like, man, if it were me, I would have taken them out, like his neighbors and stuff, his coworkers. And as you kind of learn more and more about this character who is just some nobody, it's like, no, secret badass. And it's just like a good action thriller movie with lots of John Wick levels of violence. A lot of death and destruction, but pretty good. Just like a fun action flick.
Yeah. The whole, I totally would have taken someone out if I had the chance thing is always dumb to me. Not as like a story beat, but as like a thing to say. Like, yeah, okay, sure, you were a tough guy.
yeah, sure, you totally.
They're leaving you completely unharmed, and you're actually going to risk all of that just for the sake of, you know, fucking over one of these guys. Yeah, okay.
But that was fun. That was a good movie. Did you have more to your week, Casey? I'm sorry.
I did, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about things that I saw too.
That's fair enough. So for the sake of brevity, for the shorter... well, not for the sake of brevity. For the shorter thing that I have to discuss is a pretty simple one. I've got an appointment for my second vaccination on Thursday. So that's pretty cool. I really need to get all of my writing commitments done by Wednesday because I don't expect myself to be in good condition by Friday. Gonna be perfectly honest. Yep. First shot fucks you up, and the second one's gonna be worse. So it's gonna be a little rough, probably. So, but 2 weeks after that, I will be completely protected, as far as like I can be, reasonably speaking. Like, it is still possible to get it, but it is, so far as I've seen, the AstraZeneca vaccine will give 100% protection from severe complications, is what I've read.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I think all of them have touted that particular statement of severe complications won't happen if you get it. But there's still like I think a 5 to 10% chance that you can get it through the same way that other people do. But that was the short thing. The other thing was, you know that Spider-Man game? It's on PS4. The one that isn't very short because they made it as an exclusive in a rush for the PS5. I've been playing that one again. I finished the main game again on Ultimate, which is brutal. I think I've talked about this once before, like a while ago. And I decided, okay, this time I'm going to do all of the DLC, because I stopped halfway through the second one last time, because fuck screwball, but I wanted to do the whole thing this time, because, and for one real reason, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I wanted to see what they do with Silver Sable in her DLC, because the third one is all about her. And she was awful in the base game. So I wanted to see, okay, the main game came out, everyone hated Silver Sable because she's fucking terrible. Did they fix her with the benefit of hindsight? The answer is no. The answer is no. No. It's no. The answer is no, just to be clear. So, I mentioned in one of the channels on our Discord that I have a 35-point list of why she's terrible. It's 36 now, by the way. Yeah, that's one mission into the DLC, by the way, for 36 points. So there's still some to go. I only expect it to go downhill. So I'm going to quickly run through those now. So spoilers for Spider-Man 2018.
All right, go for it.
Specifically for Silver Sable, who is a character that basically doesn't matter and is terrible, and everyone hates her.
And who doesn't do anything in the story?
Doesn't have any impact whatsoever except make everything worse and blame Spider-Man for making everything worse herself.
Yeah.
So, about a third of the way through the game, she shows up working for Osborn. She runs a private military company, brings in her own personal army, and her introduction is via her men showing up when Spider-Man is investigating a criminal hideout, and they are trying to execute downed prisoners. Spider-Man stops them. They stop him from stopping them. Then she shows up, attacks him, and then gets stopped by the police. So I'm going to start with this saying, that is one unprovoked attack that she has made on Spider-Man. Okay? There is a count for this. That's the first one. So, from there, so she has a gigantic military convoy protecting a VIP who is super important. Almost immediately, criminals take over the convoy and kill all of her men, and basically fail miserably at protecting that VIP, and they are taking off with him. Spider-Man intervenes because he's Spider-Man. Doesn't manage to actually stop the criminals from getting away with what the VIP was protecting, but he actually saves the VIP. She blames Spider-Man for the villains getting away. Attacks him again. Number 2. Then she basically is a no-show for most of the story for quite a while. So we move along, and the biggest prison break in history happens, where a bunch of supervillains and hundreds of maximum security prisoners manage to escape. She is a complete no-show for this, as is her entire private military army.
Oh, of course. Why would she show up for that?
Then she blames Spider-Man for it. Anyway. And she uses her private military to make a complete lockdown of the city. So everyone is being treated like shit by her private military goons, and they actually start shaking down civilians and holding them prisoner for no reason, and a bunch of other civil rights violations, hundreds of them. And it's basically Spider-Man's job to stop this, and it's very frustrating. But moving on. Right, we come to the end game of the main game, which is Spider-Man trying to save a boss. Her men attack him again. He beats them, She shows up and attacks him again from behind with guns. She is about 10 feet away from him and misses with guns. Expert markswoman, by the way. Just wanted to point that out. She has yet to shoot anyone successfully. Then she blames him for attacking her men when she gave them standing orders to kill him on sight. Gonna repeat that. Her men constantly talk about how they have orders to kill and or capture Spider-Man on sight.
Mm-hmm.
And she is mad that he is attacking them in self-defense.
Oh, of course. How dare you attack my men?
So Spider-Man basically says, hey, you're an idiot. Well, he doesn't say that, but he fucking should. But he says, hey, we could fight each other, but your boss is probably dying, so maybe we should focus on that first. She's like, aces. All right, let's do it. And then some more goons show up, and she leaves to fight them instead of helping Spider-Man, and basically contributes nothing else to the plot for the rest of the game.
Yes.
But we're not done. So, over a phone call, she calls up and says, hey, Spider-Man, maybe I was wrong about literally everything I've done. So I'm going to go home and think about that. I'm going to leave all of my private army in the city, still shaking down civilians, and I'm not going to rescind the kill on sight order. But you made me think about things. You really made me think. So thanks for that. Bye.
Yeah.
And then she leaves.
Brilliant character writing.
And then the final boss fight happens, and obviously neither her nor her private army appear in it in any way, shape, or form. Because that's par for the course at this point, really. So that was frustrating, but that's the main campaign, and it's all done. It's all okay. Alright? She's gone from the story. Now we can do the DLCs that have nothing to do with her. Cool. Let's do the second DLC, where a magia, because, probably don't want to actually use the word mafia, but a mafia thug is like, hey, I want to steal all of the gear that Silver Sable's company left behind.
Wait, they left behind their gear?
They left behind not only their regular gear for their regular soldiers, that is all basically super tech regardless. They left behind experimental plans and prototypes of their best super gear that they hadn't quite finished yet.
Why?
I don't know, and the game has yet to tell me.
What reason is there for any organization like that to do that?
So, yeah. The guy, Hammerhead, he's like a minor villain, it's fine man, I think. He takes this project, this prototype, and wears it, and he is the boss fight of the second DLC, and it's like, whatever. And he almost dies, but doesn't. And then we move into the third one. And Hammerhead has all of Sable's gear, including the super tech, and is basically terrorizing the city. So, third DLC starts. The one about Silver Sable. Yay. About 14 points on this list are about the first mission of this DLC.
Oh boy.
Okay, so things get worse because the goons have super tech now. So Spider-Man opens the DLC, going to deal with the thugs starting some shit with jetpacks and laser guns and a bunch of other shit. Fights a bunch of them. There is one jetpack thug that takes a civilian hostage by holding them over like the edge of a roof. Like, he's in the air and he's got a jetpack, so he's like up above. And then Silver Sable rejoins the story in a VTOL jet. So, vertical takeoff and landing. So, jump jet. That she uses to shoot both civilian and thug with a Gatling gun on the front of it. Misses both of them. Because, of course.
Wait. Hold on.
From 3 feet away. 3 feet away.
Hold on. So you're telling me that after... Maybe I was wrong, Spider-Man. I'm going to go think. Her first thought upon coming back is to fire on both civilian and goon with a Gatling gun at close range. Are you stupid? Are you mentally all there?
So, Goon drops the civilian because, like, holy shit, someone's shooting a minigun at me. Well, not a minigun, it's a regular size, like, Gatling gun. Spider-Man saves the civilian and then webs up the thug and resolves the situation. Hooray! Sable parks her VTOL directly in front of the thug that has been webbed to a wall, gets out of the cockpit and stands on like the nose of it, pulls out her guns, points one at the thug and one at Spider-Man, and she's like, why the hell do these guys have my tech?
Because you left it behind.
Bear in mind, why do these goons have my tech is a question she could answer by using Google. Like, it is, at the very least, citywide news, probably national, because a criminal organization has stolen PMC tech. But, yeah.
So, her reaction. Okay. Let's assume... Let's make a broad assumption to say she's a logical human being.
That's an assumption. Okay.
All right. In the case where she is a logical human being, you would see and hear that there are thugs attacking people with your tech on the news. Well, how did that happen? Do you check with your underlings and see if they left tech behind and didn't do their jobs properly? Or do you decide to bring a Gatling gun to go shoot at Spider-Man?
So yeah, that happens. She demands answers from Spider-Man, and he's like, Hammerhead took it. And she's like, okay, tell me everything. At gunpoint. She doesn't say at gunpoint, but, the implication is there because she's still pointing the gun at him. He's like, okay, I will tell you everything. Just put down the gun. And she's like, no. And he's like, oh, okay, but like, I'm gonna tell you everything. You just have to put away the gun. And she's like, no, I'm gonna give you the count of 3. He's like, no, I have words to tell you because we're supposed to be working together.
They had a good relationship at the end of the game. Why would she point a gun at him? Where's the logic in that?
And she gets to 3. And then jumps down from the VTOL and starts fighting him. Attack number 4, by the way. In case you lost count. Yeah, so this is a fight scene that you actually get to play, because in every other one, she beats Spider-Man in a cutscene. It is an awful fight where she can block just about all of your gadgets, and if you do the entirety of your 4-hit combo string, there's just, meat and potatoes with combat, she will counter it if you finish. So you have to hit her twice and then jump out of the way. And you cannot use your finishing moves on her that you can use on every other boss in the game. I don't know why they wanted her to be this incredibly, insanely competent enough to beat a literal superhuman with precognition. But, okay.
It's because it's somebody's waifu.
The understanding is her initial inclusion in the game was because Sony were trying to like option Silver Sable and Black Cat film, but Silver Sable is at best a C-list character that no one's heard of, so they wanted to boost her profile a little bit. So that's why she's not in any of the actual important scenes of the story of the main game.
Right. So the actual normal person is going against Spider-Man and can do everything that all the other bosses that Spider-Man goes against can't. Understood.
Yep. So fight scene between her and Spider-Man, and it's very stupid, and they have a conversation during it about how Hammerhead stole all of her tech, and she then proceeds to blame Spider-Man for not having protected her tech well enough.
Girl, it's not his job. And you shouldn't have left tech behind to begin with. I don't understand. You have a personal army that you left with your tech.
She left and left her personal army behind. She didn't take her tech with her when she left. Her army didn't take their tech with them when they left. And it's his problem that it's been stolen.
How does your army function if they don't know how to clean up their own gear and take it with them? Are you actually stupid? How are you not facing awful losses every time you deploy your army because they never bring everything back?
Well, we'll get to that. So during this pointless fight that had no reason to happen, the thug with the jetpack who was webbed to the wall manages to escape. Yeah. Then, funnily enough, I actually got one of the Jameson podcasts right after this, and he actually made a good point about where the hell was the VTOL gunship when the main plot of the game was happening. And then we get... This was the last story point that I got from this DLC before I started doing the Screwball missions. Fuck Screwball, she's awful. And the actual challenges for this one are utterly horrifying. But yeah, she has a tragic backstory where her home country has been taken over by a despot, and I think she's part of what should be the ruling family, and she is aiding the rebels. And pursuing your point that you made just about a minute ago, Zero, I can kind of understand why the rebels are losing.
Yeah. That sounds exhausting.
There are train wreck characters, and then there is her. Like, it's baffling on so many levels that not only was she nonsensical and pointless in the main game, but they had so much time between the launch of the main game and the DLCs, especially the third DLC, where she shows up, where they decided to double down on all of the worst things about her character and then still treat her like she's supposed to be a good guy. It's absolutely astonishing. So yeah, that's been a thing that I've been doing. I was going to 100% everything, but I'm of two minds on that. At this point, I might just do the main missions, then just call it a day, because exhausting is a good word for it. I rage quit the game multiple times. Because... like, I got to that boss fight against her, and I'm like, okay, you can if ever I finish a combo on you, you will immediately counter me and take out half of my health. Cool. I'm gonna do something else for a while. Ugh. Yeah. So so that was the thing. I did hear something cool that has inspired me to maybe give Kingdom Hearts 3 a try again, and that is how critical mode works, and that is basically you can't use the rides,
Oh.
and that sounds wonderful. Like, it would make the game harder, but that's kind of a good thing. Because, like, it's a regular game.
I still need to go back and do Remind.
Yeah, I'm considering doing that too. Like, someone said, hey, it makes the story less shit. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not entirely sure I believe you on that one, but I'll give it a shot. So the whole rides thing is like, you just use them and you're invincible for about 30 seconds, where you can do a whole bunch of damage to everything around you. It's barely a game at that point because they show up every 5 seconds. So just the option of turning them off so you never even see them is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I played all the other games on Critical anyway, so it feels only right that I actually do that. Now that they added it into the game, admittedly they added it like a year after it came out, but still.
Yeah, it took them a while.
Yeah. Oh well. Maybe Disney had like a contract like, hey, you have to have the game have these ride attractions like all throughout for like all of it for this long, even though it's shitty. Yeah. So I'll be giving that a go once I've finally finished the first game again, and then the second game again, and hopefully do all the fucking data battles this time, and Birth by Sleep again. I'll get around to it. Let's just say it's on the list. Yeah, it's on the list. The list that has not gone down a single entry, despite my holiday. But yeah, that is what happens when Casey has stuff to talk about. We're 47 minutes into the podcast. Yeah.
Sounds like you had a fun week.
It was pretty good. Nice and relaxing. I didn't actually... Like, by about Thursday, I was like, I kind of want to write something. Because that's, by habit, because of the fucking vaccine thing that fucked me up for a couple of days, that was when I started writing in my week. So I was like... I feel like writing for some reason. I was like, no, I'm on holiday. I'm not going to write. So I didn't. And then Monday came around and I wasn't feeling like writing anymore because everything was fucked up. So
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, I'm getting through things. Done my commissions. I've just got to do the Patreon thing. So, how it used to usually go. And then hopefully I can get 2 more chapters done before Thursday. That would be very nice. Because, worrying. But that's my week. So do you want to finish yours, Zero?
Yeah. I talked briefly about some of the stuff that I had been watching and stuff. But I also started... playing some of the DLC for Crosscode.
Which one's that one?
Crosscode, it's a game on Steam. I haven't talked about it in a long time. You can probably search it up. It's on the Switch as well. Because, like, near around Christmas time, I believe they came out with a DLC, which is a post-game episode. And I only got to play a little bit of that, but it was very, very nice because they have like a 16-bit NES style graphics, and it's just a very nice top-down game that takes place in an area that's kind of like an MMO, but there's a lot more to it and good puzzles. abilities. Going back to a game they haven't played in like a year or two, and you're like, oh wait, what do these buttons do? I had a specific build for this character, and now I forget how to use it. But that was fun getting back into that. Aside from that,
It's looks like an RPG Maker game.
not exactly. Lots of animations in it. Not RPG Maker. Full on portraits. Unique art style. A lot of abilities. And if you look at the bosses, it's not an RPG at all because it's action combat
Hmm.
with dodging and unleashing abilities and everything. Where you have you have a dash, then you have your guard, you have your shoot, and your melee, and each one of those have like special moves, and they are changed on which special move they are depending on how much of your bar you have built up, and they're also elemental types. So you have your fire, your ice, your lightning, and then wave. And wave is kind of the weird one, but each of those have their own unique abilities, and it's a lot to go back to. But yeah, very, very good game. Just nice to see these characters and get more resolution to that story. Also, this was like the first week where I didn't have to DM 2 games anymore because I'm now focused on one,
Hmm.
and that's nice.
Yeah. Just a lot less work for however long it lasts because, you have DM'd before, people will ask you to do it again.
Well, actually, what's happened is that a lot of my players all want to DM now.
Ah,
So now I can just DM one game and then play in other people's games.
cool.
Which in one game I'm playing a fire Goliath named Gorm, and he is a huge monk with a Sun Soul monk, so he shoots light out of his hands.
You literally named him Gorm.
I named him Gorm.
So when he's not with the party, are they Gormless?
Yes.
Oh
He
boy.
calls himself Gorm the Flame Slinger.
That's a cool name. It's a cool name.
And one of my friends just joined the game recently, and he is playing a Mist Goliath. And he's like, I'm Sora Hiko, the Mistweaver, but you guys can call me Sora. And then Gorm's like, Sora Hiko, the Mistweaver. Always calling by the full title because Gorm thinks titles are cool.
Yeah, it's just respectful, You got the title, you earned it. Use it.
And it was showed up in like we went to the party went to an arena, and me and one other player decided to participate in that, and then the new player joined in on the opposite side of that, and that was a tough fight because I'm playing a monk and he's playing a monk, but then like he rolled really well on stats, so he took feats and stuff, like he can cast hex and do misty step. And he has healer's kit that he can use to heal himself. And I'm just like, I can hit things really hard.
Never
And I won.
underestimate.
I won because I got the high ground. And I knocked him off.
God damn it! Now I'm remembering the fucking Star Wars meme. Not of the regular one with like Obi-Wan, like the follow-up where it's like Luke standing on a platform above Vader, and he's like, Obi-Wan taught you well.
Yeah, it's back to spring break is over, so back to subbing, and teaching children how to think, as I say. That's always it's always fun. But other than that, and the stuff I already talked about, it's just been pretty chill.
Yeah. Nice spring. The weather's weird. It was snowing yesterday and it's like boiling hot today. It's freaking weird. Spring.
Hey,
Patient. Patient.
patient.
Has patient. We're just saying patient over and over again.
Patient one.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Fine. Savoring the time I have left before it becomes Monday again.
Monday. I admit I also live in fear of Monday nowadays. Deadline, you know. So, you do anything cool?
Well, yesterday, with Zomniac's help, I gave It Takes Two a try.
Oh, yeah, that's the, I don't remember his name, but the A Way Out guy, right? The one that's, like, framed as a marriage counseling through psychonauts, basically.
Basically, well, I'm not sure about Psychonauts. I haven't played the game, but I'm aware that it involves entering people's minds,
Yeah,
right?
fantastical places with strange and bizarre, like, design of them.
Well, this is basically just taking mundane home setting and turning it into uh, it's not even making it that unrealistic. It's just a bit of supernatural crossed with. Nah, I'm not good at describing things. Uh, Bottom line, it was. Zomniac enjoyed it a lot. I don't think I enjoyed it quite as much as he did, but it was a lot of fun. We're audio chatting at the time, and we got past the first two bosses, and it's a bit brutal.
Yeah. It's a game that very much relies on people working together. I don't know. Uh, it seems like it would be a difficult thing to balance at the best of times. Uh,
It's not hard to balance. Well, it wasn't hard to balance for Zom and I. He was good at figuring things out quickly, and, well, I tripped up a bit along the way, but it was. I still moved pretty quickly. It was fun, but when I said brutal, I more meant the bosses, or
yeah.
at least the first boss. You, nah, spoilers. Anyway, though, the first minigame was fun though. Zomniac was livid at me for how how easily it was for me to win the game. It was minor spoilers if you care about it,
No, go
but
ahead.
it was basically a game of whack-a-mole.
Mm.
I was the one that he was supposed to whack, and I was too fast.
Oh, it's like the asymmetric Mario Party games kind of thing, where you have one side doing one particular thing, the other side doing another, and
Yeah.
yeah, those what I meant by balance was that, like, usually one side very much has an advantage going in.
Well, and I'm not sure if any of the future minigames are going to be of the same in the same vein. Zom and I only got as far as the end of chapter one, the amount that you get as a free trial of the game.
Mm.
But at the end of that, he bought the whole game, so we'll get back to that at some point.
Cool.
Although, of course, we're also working on the next chapter of this Bites. And it's proving something of a pain to write. Inspiration-wise, reasoning-wise, time-wise. It doesn't help that Hornet wound up in the ER yesterday due to twisting his ankle.
Ooh. Is he okay?
Again, he's in the ER. No serious damage, I hope, but not something that I assume is going to be resolved in a matter of hours.
Yeah,
Probably.
twisting your ankle can range from walk it off to bedridden for a few days. So
Yeah, probably the latter. Poor Hornets.
that sucks.
One might say it stings.
They might, I guess. I don't. All right.
Alright. Beyond that, last weekend was General Conference. That was fulfilling. Other than that, anything of significance happened in the past couple of days? Couple of weeks, rather. Work blurs together, and time just keeps going by. There's not much. It's just been pretty mundane, day in, day out, most of the time. Although I've got a few people at work requesting me to bake them buttermilk pies.
I feel like that's maybe a little pushy. Like, it's like, yeah, I've made some stuff. I'm gonna bring it in and share it with everybody. Is it's a nice gesture, but directly asking people to make them something, yeah.
Is it? I wasn't aware.
I suppose it can be. I mean, it depends on the relationship, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, our boss is a great person. She's the reason most of us have stuck around for this long. I don't know how much longer she's going to stick around because they've been stringing her along about a promised promotion for 3.5 months. But the job is tolerable for now, particularly because, given what happened this time last year, our quotas for the rest of the year, which are 10% up from whatever we did last year, are going to be a breeze.
Yeah, because last year was kind of well, I won't call it what I would usually call it, but it was a bad time, if memory serves. Like, it was,
Not much else to say.
Pie sounds good.
okay.
We have brownies downstairs with pecans. I like pecans.
Ooh. I have a carrot cake downstairs because we got cake for Easter. Because why not? It's Easter. Carrot cake.
Sure, why not?
Do you have anything, Casey?
What, for Easter? No.
No, any sort of dessert waiting downstairs for you?
Well, if it's downstairs, it's probably going to be eaten by my neighbors who live there. But
What's in your fridge?
Third of a pack of grapes, and that's about it. I really need to buy more sweet snacks, just in general. I always forget because I'm like, I don't really feel like it right now, so I won't buy any because they're terrible for me. But I should.
Mm-hmm. I'd say so.
Thing is, when I buy them, I always end up going through them in like 3 days, and it's like, yeah, now I have nothing for the next 2 weeks. So, it's a weird balance of self-control and lack of self-control.
Well, yeah, that's about it, I think. So, well, let me see if I've got any. No, I don't.
I can go outside soon, guys.
That's good.
For like a month, and then I can't anymore because it'll be summer. But it'll be nice for that month to be able to go places.
A
I
month
wonder.
is a
Oh,
good amount of time. Shouldn't knock it.
I went out for like a 6 mile walk the other day.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was good. Nice going outside. Makes you feel a little bit less depressed with the fact that we're living in, you know, these times.
Eh, it'll pass soon enough.
Here's hoping.
Pass might be a little optimistic, but be generally better for the foreseeable future is definitely yes. Yeah.
Alright,
Measured
well,
expectations.
I know exactly where to leave my expectations. So, is there anything else besides Patreon? Any fic recommendations from either of you?
Oh shit, we have to do Patreon, don't we? Yep, that
Yeah, we
happened.
do.
Yep. No recommendation. I did recommend that Greco-Roman Shancha story that was already on the Discord, so just sign up for the Discord. It's fucking somewhere in the recommendations channel. It is very, very good. So it's called Virtuous Sons. I'll say that much. It's on multiple sites.
I've been reading a lot of like lit RPGs on my Kindle app on my phone.
Hmm.
Because those are fun. Because a lot of those are like stuff from Royal Road that gets turned into actual just novels that go onto Amazon. And since I have the Kindle Unlimited membership, I just get basically free books.
Mm.
So I've been reading a lot of that. I can't think of one off the top of my head to recommend though, but a lot of good ones. All right.
It's looking at the
Yeah.
episode title.
Yes. So for our Patreon, I do want to say a thank you to everybody who is donating to us on Patreon. You are awesome.
Whoa.
Thank you to Abdullah K for your $1.50 donation. Thank you to Sailor of House Thunderbird for your $1 donation. Thank you to Vale for your $10 donation. Thank you to Boy By Fresh for your $20 donation. Thank you to Ryu for your $3.50. Thank you to Greek Guy for your $1 donation. Thank you to Ethan F for your $10 donation. Thank you to Bomber BCM for your $20 donation. Thank you to the Crossbrain for your $10 donation.
You're welcome.
And thank you to Troper for your $5 donation.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, join our Discord. It's in the links in the description. If you want to get rewards for whatever you got on the Patreon, contact us through there and we'll set you up, fam. It'll be great.
Yeah. Okay. Never say that again.
Shut up.
Never say once.
Fam.
Shut up. I live in California. I have a right.
I don't think that works like that, but I can't disprove it, so I'm just gonna say shut up. So, that's a podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
And in case you missed the memo, Casey is not fond of Silver Sable.
You know, I have no idea what she's like in the comics, but she could be the best character in the entire setting of like Marvel 616 or whatever their main comics universe is, and she would still be awful because it has poisoned the well that badly. So yeah, have fun, everybody. Bye.
Bye.